Bitcoin, we start with 1 hour chart. Just I want to give you a quick update. First of all, if you refer to my last analysis when the price was exactly within here, I mentioned if you want to look for buy, we wait for the next drop, deeper correction before we take the trade. And that's what we expect exactly. This is what we get. And this is where we could look for trade. And to look for trade, we had to trade based on 15-minute chart. All right. But for those traders, they get the trade for buy from here. This is what they got. And if still they're keeping the trade, at least move their stop loss to break even. Okay. And beside that, as we can see, if we refer to our analysis, we mentioned we want to see the breakout of this zone, because when the price was within here, we have been looking for this one as a first target, following by second one as a second target. And as after we get this one, 22780 work as a support for us. By the way, whoever get the trade for buy within this move, if still they're keeping the trade, move their stop loss to break even. Okay. Anyway, we start with the higher time frame. And even if you refer to our analysis in my last video, mentioned the way the market is reversing is very corrective. Even we can expect for continuation, but any trade based on lower time frame will be a short term. And from there, we want to see whether the price can break the previous low, which is 28300 or not. All right. That means any trade will be a short term, and the possibility for the next drop is very high. That's why we need to be quite careful, because the reversal is very corrective. And we put this stop in relative to the previous one. And if refer to the indicators, we see is losing the momentum. Okay. The reason even based on MACD, the reason I'm highlighting, we need to be quite careful. But for the trade as a long term, at this point, we don't have any trade set up, and we prefer to get one more drop following by divergence before we take the next trade. Or we see the sharp move breakout of the previous low following by correction before we take the next trade. That means at this point, we don't see any trade set up as a long term, and any trade will be a short term based on lower time frame. And even based on forward chart, if we refer to the indicators, we see if we put this stop in relative to the previous one, we see we have a divergence, and even based on MACD. That's why any trade will be a short term. And I don't see any trade setup even based on forward chart and even based on 1 hour chart. Again, it doesn't mean the price cannot continue from here. As of what I highlighted based on daily chart, we can look for the trade, but will be a short-term trade. And at this point, I don't see any trade setup either based on daily, forward, or 1 hour chart. The only update is whoever get the trade for buy from here, if they want to keep the trade, at least move their stop loss to break even. Anyway, we just follow the chart. If I see any update or any trade setup as a long term, then I will share. Thanks.